If there is one single strategy to use in OET speaking, it's this. In this video, I'm going to tell you the words that you should not use in the role play and share some words that you should use instead in order to get those big scores. You won't want to miss this, so let's go. In the role play, you will be speaking to a patient or caregiver, and this person will not have medical knowledge. Therefore, it's very important that you select words and phrases or explain technical medical jargon in a way that your patient or caregiver will understand. You will be assessed on this in the Appropriateness of Language criterion. So it's very important that you address this in the role play, you identify those words that you should not use, and have some alternative ways to say them or explain them instead. So here are 10 words that you should absolutely avoid in the OET roleplay with alternatives to use instead. Number 1 is intravenous, meaning through a vein. So instead of saying to a patient that the medication they're going to receive will be delivered intravenously, or saying that it is intravenous medication, instead you can simply say the medication will be delivered through a vein. This is the first example of using layman's terms for your patient or caregiver so they can understand. The second word to avoid is benign, meaning not cancerous. Now, this is very important information that your patient or caregiver would want to receive. So let's make sure they understand what you're telling them. So do not say the lump is benign, which they might not understand. Instead, say the lump is not cancerous, which they will understand. The next is a very common word in the medical world, hypertension, to describe a patient with high blood pressure. But remember, your patient is unlikely to know what hypertension is. So instead of saying, you have hypertension, instead say, you have high blood pressure. The next word is edema, to mean swelling. Again, not many people will know this word if they don't have medical knowledge. So instead of mentioning that a patient has an edema, you could instead say, I see you have some swelling in your shoulder, for example. Another similar one is contusion, meaning bruise. Instead of saying you have some contusions on your leg, instead say you have some bruises on your leg. You can also say bruising to describe this type of symptom. Another similar one, lesion, meaning sore or wound. Instead of saying the lesion on your arm is infected, you can say the wound or the sore on your arm is infected. Another very common one that medical professionals will often encounter, analgesia, to mean pain relief. Instead of telling your patient that you're going to prescribe them some analgesia, instead say, I'm going to prescribe you some pain relief to help with your discomfort. You could also say pain medication. When we're talking about giving medication, another common word that you want to avoid, administer. So instead of saying, I'm going to administer your medication, you can simplify this by using the word give. I'm going to give you your medication now. The next words to avoid are commence, meaning start, and discontinue, meaning stop. So again, we're talking about medication. Instead of saying, we're going to commence your treatment today, you can simply say, we're going to start your treatment today. Likewise, if you want to tell the patient to discontinue medication, just tell them you can stop taking the medication now. This is a much clearer way to express the idea of stopping and starting medication. The final word to avoid using is elevate, meaning to raise. Instead of telling your patient that they need to elevate their foot or they need to keep their foot elevated, you should say, you need to raise your foot or you need to keep your foot raised. This is a much better way to explain the concept. Likewise, the word elevated can be used when we are describing a patient's levels of, for example, blood sugar. Instead of telling your patient, your blood sugar levels are elevated, you can say they are high. So the word elevate, used to describe the action of raising something, and the adjective elevated, it's better to use the word high. Now, if you are looking for one powerful method to get a high score in the OET speaking test, click here to check out this video next.